My name's Bernard Hunt, and I am a friend of Beth and Graham Burton, who invited me to come and talk to you this Sunday for Action for Children Sunday. Unfortunately, COVID-19 has struck, so we'll have to do that next year, and I look forward to meeting you. Beth has the misfortune of knowing me by being a school friend of my wife, so we've known each other more than 30 years. And she knew that I worked for Action for Children, and it seemed appropriate to tell you a little about what we do. I work in a residential home for kids with complex needs. They have physical disabilities, emotional challenges, learning difficulties, and a host of other things. We're not allowed to tell you the names of the young people we care for. Some of them need to be protected, but one lad has 27 different conditions, and he's a barrel of laughs. He is great to work with. He's discovered he uses a wheelchair. He's blind and deaf. He has cerebral palsy, epilepsy. Last week, he learned how to fall out of bed. He lines up a pillow by the side of his bed, he rolls out of bed, and then giggles for 5 minutes. It's his new trick. We're hoping that when he leaves us when he's 18, in 4 years' time, he will walk out. He won't go in his wheelchair, he's going to walk. That's what we're aiming for. So what's Action for Children to do with the Methodist Church? It was started by the Methodist Church in 1869. Thomas Bowman Stevenson set up a home for homeless boys in London, and now we have 7,000 staff, 500 projects. Near you, there's a short-term respite project in Hertfordshire for kids whose parents need a break, and the kids need a break, and they go away for 2-3 days, the school holidays or weekends, just to give some time. That is, I think, the nearest project to you. I work in Shrewsbury, and we have 3 kids who live with us. They will be with us until they're 18 and then go into adult care. It's a fun job. I wouldn't do it for nothing, but it is a bonus to think, what's going to happen today? Don't know, let's go and find out. I've worked the last 2 Christmas days, if you call lying on a beanbag on a dining room floor, building a train set work. I didn't. I just enjoyed it. And so did the kids, which is the point. The job is to have them happy, healthy, safe, and to become as independent as they can be. COVID-19 has been a pain. We were under lockdown for 15 weeks before any of us left the house for more than a walk around the block. That brings in behavioural difficulties because the kids are fed up and cabin fever, as we all have been. But they've done really, really well, and now we're going out in a minibus for days out, and school is on tomorrow for a day, so they're looking forward to that. I'm going to ask you to do something for us. I'm going to ask you to pray for us. Pray for our kids, pray for our staff, because we need your support. What we actually do during the day is much like being a parent. We have a sleep room in the house because we have 2 staff sleeping overnight. On the back of the door, it says, the children do not live in our workplace. We work in their home. We get them up, we get them bathed, we change their pads. Though they're teen and pre-teen, they all wear nappies. We get the breakfast, we get them to dress themselves as much as they're able. When school is on, we get them out to school. When it's not on, we have homeschool, and we set up the dining room table. We have lessons from the school. They're all at a special school locally. And then we do something fun in the afternoon. We've got a big garden, we've got a trampoline. The kids do some of the cooking. We go out for walks, drives. We're looking forward, now that Wales is open, to going to the beach. So that's the big event coming up this week. It's fun, but it's challenging. One of our kids has behavioural difficulties and has to, when he's anxious, that comes out in a not particularly friendly fashion. And we all have scratches and the odd bite, but that goes with the territory. They're lovely kids, but they need our help, so we need your help to pray for us and to support us. Any questions?
Thank you ever so much for introducing the topic to us, Bernard, and it's good to have you with us. I'm just going to try and get us all back on screen so that we can see you and talk to you. Thank you so much. It's very moving hearing what you're saying about working there. I just wonder whether how you look after yourself emotionally in terms, it must be very difficult. Mental health and so on obviously is going to become a big topic as we're reopening our churches, and workplaces have been very strange. This isn't an easy environment, doing all this stuff by Zoom and various different things. But your environment must be 10 times more emotional and complicated with all those young people. How do you look after yourself, and how do you stay safe?
My wife and I are both Christian. That helps.
Yes.
At work, I am the mental health first aider.
Right.
So I've had training in mental health first aid. So part of my job is to ensure that actually we take time for ourselves. Mm-hmm. So I've banned one colleague from doing any overtime, for example. She gets sucked in, as we all do. Birthdays and Christmas are just silly. As a charity, we have a budget for birthday presents for the young people. But the pile of presents that turns up from every single member of staff to every child is way over what the budget allows. Because they are, in a real sense, our kids. So it's the same emotional load as anyone else who's a parent.
Right. Yes. Well, thank you. And I think it's an insight. And I just wanted to add to your message about your work, a message for the congregation, effectively saying it's really important as we go forward in this journey, and as we start to rebuild our churches and so on, is that business about leaving ourselves space and doing things in a way that keeps our mental health safe is really, really important. I think people are attached to churches very deeply emotionally, and our Christian faith is connected and so on. And it just struck me as you were talking that I didn't want to hijack your message, but actually you're working in such an important field, and the stuff that you're doing is so emotional that you're kind of a really good barometer for us as to how we feel about the work that we do for the church. We may not have the same intensity, but I think we make the same mistakes.
Quite possibly. One of our advantages, we do long shifts. Yesterday I finished a 24-hour shift, including the sleep.
Wow.
I did get to sleep, which was good.
Yeah.
But it is a shift. It is our place of work. One of the things that makes this particular home really special is that we genuinely love the kids. But when the shift's over, we go home. And somebody else looks after them. So that helps with the mental health. That said, we send messages to each other all the time. Have you checked the meds? How's so-and-so doing today? We are involved, but the mental health, the family is a strong emotional mental health unit. Nationally, we work with quite a lot of families who don't function as they should or could. But that family strength is, I know that every single one of my work colleagues has got my back, and I trust them absolutely, and they trust me. That helps with the mental health as well, and perhaps that's transferable to the church as well.
I think so, and thank you so much for that. I have one last practical question. I don't know if Beth's got anything she wants to ask, but I have one practical question. Beth's saying no, definitely no. Okay, in which case, can I make this the final question? You've asked for our prayers, and you've said support generally. I presume that financial support is also important. Could you just tell us who to contact or how we would best be able to make contact if that was the case?
Can I jump in there, Andrew, and say that Graham is actually the church's Action for Children rep?
Right.
So any monies that come in can either come to him or through our church, and they'll be forwarded on to Action for Children.
Thank you very much. Graham, sorry, not Graham, Bernard, do you, it'd be nice if I can edit that bit out, but I probably won't be able to do. Is that, in terms of actually making donations and so on, yes, we can get it to you. Is there a way you prefer at the moment? Is it easier to use PayPal or something? I mean, how do you do it?
There are three ways of fundraising. We have a website, and you can donate directly to that website, which goes into the national pot. Practically, give the money to Graham, and please gift aid it.
Right.
It then depends whether you as a church want to give to the charity as a whole or to a particular project. But I will talk to Graham about doing that. But if you want to give us some money, we're not going to say no. Please give, and please gift aid.
Well, thank you ever so much, and we'll be praying for you in the rest of the service this morning. And we've been ever so blessed by your presence. So thank you for